Well, hello everyone. Finally, we got over the little hurdle with technology earlier today, and it gives us great pleasure to be able to introduce 𝗵𝐺𝐸, who's almost virtually flown in from New York City. Actually, it's upstate New York. I correct myself. So one of the things I've realized as we do these webinars is what it must feel like to be a radio DJ, because you feel like you're talking to the ether and like nobody might be there. And it's really tough because you've got to keep yourself going without human interaction. So let's have some hellos. Oh, lovely. Oh, no, that's Christian.
That's me.
I'm blind without my specs. So let's have some interaction so we know that you're here, that you're alive, that you're kicking, that you're rocking, that you're rolling. Hey, lovely. Great to see that everybody's here. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Oh, look, someone's wearing a great mask. I love that, Alan.
Yeah, Alan. Shout out to Alan Hamela.
And how many of you here are newbies? Never been to one of the ScaleForEtail events or webinars before? Let's just do a quick shout out to the newbies. Hi, Meninda. Hi, Sol. Hi, Yop. Wow. So we have got a bunch of people, and obviously we've got Iceland or Norway, really, Spain. It's really good to see people from all these different countries, actually. It just shows
Peterborough is very exotic too. So.
Yeah, Peterborough is the most exotic location on this list, obviously not. So who's new here? Who hasn't been to one of our events before? Mr. Grimsby, I think you have. Okay, looks like no one's willing to own up to that. It's not a shaming exercise. Good. Okay, so we won't spend too much more time on introductions, but what we're going to cover today is pretty unique in that you're going to learn some very, very rarely discussed tools, tricks that Mark's going to lay out for us. And it's been a long time coming. We've been trying to set this up. Yeah. And actually, you were going to fly in May, weren't you?
I was going to do a lot of things before May. But
Yeah, we hope that you can come and join us in London when things are back to some sense of normality.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. All right. So for those of you that haven't attended before, it's lovely to see you all comment in the chat. But we do also have on the right-hand side of your screen another tab called Questions. And it would just help Christian, who's gonna be question monitor for the day. If you wouldn't mind posing your questions in there, that way we can also make sure we answer everything. And it just helps us to go through it all. But feel free to chat in the chat box as we go through. And if anybody actually wants to come on stage, that's not a problem either. At the end, when we run through all the questions, you can ask to pop on stage with the rest of us. And
if you ask a question, if you put #live on your question, then we'll try and get your video on so you can ask a question in person. When we get to your question.
Yeah, lovely. Cool. That would be amazing. Okay, so without further ado, let me hand over to Mark.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's so different, like speaking to one over a computer screen. Usually there's interaction, but I'll interact with myself for now. Hello, everybody. My name is 𝗵𝐺𝐸. I live in New York. I will give you a little bit of a rundown about myself. I 100 company. I do marketing and SEO specifically for Amazon. Not under Amazon, but for Amazon sellers. I've been around for around 5 years, almost 6 now. I built my own giveaway network, which I'll discuss, for over 20,000 people and counting in USA, UK, and a little bit of other places as well. I worked under a top 100 private label brand. That's where I started off my business. I'm very well connected as well to the Chinese sellers and service providers. I'm always in the loop on what service is new and whatnot. And I'm sure, as all Amazon sellers know, your main competition is from China. So they're using a lot of different things, tactics and whatnot, which I am well aware of. So let's see if we can discuss some today. All right. So a lot of people do giveaways, which are a costly service. I'm going to go through a couple things of how to do giveaways and how not to do giveaways, because at least if you're going to be launching or doing whatever, how to optimize it and make the most out of it. All right, giveaways, do's and don'ts. So don't have a spike in orders, and I'll teach you the formula. So a lot of people when they're doing, they're doing a launch or a giveaway or something like that, they just put up the product and then 50 people order within an hour, or you know what I mean? So tons of people order, and it just shows Amazon a weird spike in orders and then just flattens out for the rest of the day. So that is not a smart idea. And Amazon actually has a formula on what you have to follow. So if the number of orders is in the past 3 hours, it's a little bit complicated. It's not a little complicated, but there's more than 5 times the total in 14 days, that'll cause a suspension. So Amazon actually has a formula which they follow. And they see, okay, within this certain amount of time, you got tons of orders that just don't make sense, and they will suspend for something as easy as that. So you have to make sure you do it the right way. So not to do FBM giveaways, especially when you can't. So a lot of people they have expensive products. It's very much understood, but they don't want to ship it. They just want to give an empty envelope or a chocolate bar. And when you're shipping a drone, a chocolate, it doesn't weigh as much as a chocolate bar. So Amazon could actually track the weight. If it's the UPS and whatnot. So it's not so smart to do that, not to actually not give away the product. So how to do giveaways. So you don't give a direct link to products. I see a lot of times people are like, okay, just use the link or just copy and paste the ASIN. Like, I highly would not suggest that, because no one's going like, oh, okay, I want a water bottle today, so 𝗵𝐸7W. No one's doing that. And a link, some people, but when you have 30, 40, 50, 100 people do it, seems a little bit off or suspicious. So have them search it, find it, buy it, make it look as organic as possible. Have them type the keyword, search page to page. And I know people are thinking, what about super URL? We'll get to that. So if it's possible, just give them a picture of the product. Tell them, this is my product. This is a keyword. As soon as you see the main image, click on it, and then they'll kind of get it on their own. It looks organic. A lot of times, like when you're going from page 1 to page 13, because they know exactly what they're looking for, it looks suspicious, but they have to thoroughly search for it from page 1 to page 5 or whatever. Looks organic, looks real, and get the best result like that. So you add it to the cart, search for other products, do normal shopping activity. Don't just add it to the cart, purchase it, and just go on with your day. Make it look real, and you'll get the best effect from that. So utilize the giveaways. So what you do is, so let's say, for example, your product is popular between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. every single day, right? So the best is to cater your giveaways around that time frame, because Amazon sees, okay, this product usually sells between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m., right? So if you're showing Amazon that you have more sales than everyone, especially during your peak times, they'll say, okay, you're popular, and you'll get more of a ranking juice, I would say. All right, so the longer they keep it in the cart, the more weight it has. So I have this thing that I say, the more weight, the more weight. So meaning the longer they keep it in their cart, and they wait for it, and then they purchase and whatever, the more weight that purchase has, and gives you more ranking effect. A cute thing, which actually works, but obviously don't overdo it, is if you had gift wrap your product. So let's say 5 out of 100 people, or 5, whatever, a certain amount of people will add gift wrap or gift messaging to their product. It shows Amazon, okay, this is a popular gift item. They'll make you relevant in different places as well. So have them stay on the page, interact with it, look at the pictures, look at the question answers, the reviews, scroll around, go from page to page, interact with the page, and just go on and purchase it and go move on. And famous question, people will say, should I, how about a coupon giveaway? I'm going to give them a thing of 80%, 90%, or whatever. So we'll discuss what the difference between full price and coupon giveaways are. So coupon giveaway, anything over 49% is considered a biased purchase, and Amazon won't really give you any any ranking juice, I would say, because they're biased. They're only buying your product because they have a coupon. So the best is to do full price giveaways, make it look real, makes it look real, like a real purchase, and they can leave reviews with it, and there's a lot more that they could do. So like I was mentioning before, you can even make a verified review. So let's say you're doing a launch and you're giving, you're saving half the product cost, but it doesn't do you any well. Full price giveaways gives you a lot more, and you can even gain a review from that as well. So a lot of people say, just launched my product. How do I index? How do I be found for that keyword at all? I just launched. A couple of quick ways to show you to index. So obviously putting the bullet points and the backend keywords is the easiest way to get a quick index and a question answer. So this one's a cool one. A lot of people I told them about it, like, what are you talking about? And then they did it actually work. So you do Q&A. So like, let's say you want to, I always use this as a water bottle, for example. So let's say you're selling a water bottle and you want to be indexed for water bottle, but it's the keyword, whatever it is. So what you do is have someone ask a question, is this water bottle BPA free? And then someone answers, yes, this water bottle is BPA. And then you keep doing it. Amazon shows relevancy and you index real quick. You could also make an exact match high bid PPC. So, you're putting it, it's there. Some people click, that's it, it's done. And you can get relevancy right away. It's PPC, it gets live right away. Often it could be things as just your category and your subcategory are wrong. It's easy fix. The hashtag trick. So, for example, as you could see over here, if you type in, for example, baby diapers, right? It shows different keywords, autofill suggestions, and whatnot. And you would think, oh, these are the best keywords to use. This is what people are doing, people are searching for. But realistically, it isn't. There's other keywords straight from the Amazon system that you can use better. So pay attention. So what you do is you type in the keyword and then you put a hashtag before the keyword. And as soon as you do that, usually I would point to my projector, but there's no projector here. But you can see as soon as you put the hashtag, it shows a bunch of different kind of keywords that you could see that are more relevant. So I'll go back again, and you'll see, for example, size 1, newborn, size 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over here it says adult. It shows you different kinds of keywords. But just by putting a simple hashtag, it's free. It's easy. You don't need a cool software for it. It's just that easy.
Mark, Mark, what's the difference there between what it's showing with and without the hashtag?
They're just different keywords. Like, for example, this is just showing size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want a different range of keywords where people are actually searching, like people buy A9 reports and stuff like that, right? This would be something similar without even buying a report or anything, just coming straight from the the Amazon algorithm.
Okay.
All right. So the best way to get real reviews. Reviews are so important on Amazon, as we know. So just some quick tips. Wait 7 days before leaving a review. The more weight. There's a little spelling mistake there. So yeah, the more you wait, the more weight it has. Never use gift cards. It can always be traced back to you, and not smart. One reviewer could do up to 4 products per seller. I would not suggest that. You could go up to 4. But a lot of people say, why yes and why no? Why no? Because it looks suspicious. Why yes? It shows that someone likes the brand. It shows that, but so if it's like once every, 2 months or whatever, someone buys a product and they leave a review. It shows like, I like this brand. This is a genuine brand and whatnot. But someone's buying it in the same month or something, leaving reviews, and it doesn't look organic at all. Obviously never use a direct link to search for the product. So different methods of getting reviews. One is verified purchase giveaways. So like I was mentioning before, asking past orders to leave a review. So a lot of people have different templates and whatnot, like you use like FeedbackWiz and stuff like that. So that's just a software that would send out. But there are different templates where actually people sell or even make, and you could probably make your own. But they researched on how to do the wording that has a really good conversion rate. And I've seen it. Some people even offer a guarantee and whatnot. And I've seen it work where they use a good header and they use specifically towards your product, and people actually leave reviews. And you're not having to pay extra for a giveaway because it's a real purchase, organic. You just buy the template once and it works. So getting your personal email and phone number, which is a little bit tricky on how to get them, because every day Amazon is changing things that they make visible to you or not. But by getting that, you reach out to them, and same kind of story, same as the magic template, but magic template goes to the Amazon system. Very limited in the words you could say there. as opposed to reaching out to them personally. You could say very straightforward what you need. Chat bots like ManyChat and stuff like that, and Facebook ads. A lot of people have been doing it recently. And as long as it adds up and you're doing things correctly, it shouldn't be a problem. A landing page, which I will discuss. Unverified reviews, not so safe. Not so safe because, I mean, it depends. But I just, when people ask me, can you do unverified reviews, I pass on the offer. But actually something came out recently, which I'm speaking about for the first time. I mean, obviously everyone knows about the ratings, but I didn't even get a chance to update my slides about it yet, which I was testing for some time. Is a new thing is ratings, where people leave a review, not a review, they leave a rating, but without leaving actual review content. So people ask, what's the difference between a rating and an unverified review? So I tested it. So there are different products. So on the past month or so, we added some unverified reviews to see if the rating of the product will change. And then we did some rating, and the ratings had a far more of an effect. Literally, it is basically the same as leaving a real review. So that's something we experimented with, and we got great results where people just leave a rating instead of a review, and they don't even need to give away the product. So it's a win-win. FBA giveaways before you do the launch. So for example, let's say you want to launch your item. You have to wait for it to go to FBA, you give away some, and then you get a review. And then we're going to talk about the honeymoon period, but you kind of lose that honeymoon period by waiting so long just to get a review. So what people do is they give away the product while their item is being manufactured or whatever it is. By the time it gets to FBA, you get 5 reviews. Then you have a strong launch instead of waiting. And if you utilize the honeymoon period. Yep. So the review ratio. So I have often people asking me, I want 100 reviews on my product. Like, okay, it's doable, but up to certain criteria. So explaining here, so you could have 1 to 10 ratio. So people ask, does that mean I could have 100 over 1,000 and whatnot? No, obviously the higher your purchases are, the lower it would be. 2 to 10 ratio if you're going to push it. But obviously keeping the number lower, we'll have a better, we'll keep you in the clear. Okay, so here's a cool thing where people don't think about, but it's good. Okay, so here, the first few weeks when you're launching a product, Amazon doesn't have the data on your product of how it's performing. So let's say you're on a listing you have for a year now. They see, okay, the average review ratio you're getting is this much, and you get 20 reviews a month and whatnot. So if you're going to add 50 reviews, all of a sudden, raises a red flag. But the first few weeks, even month, like maybe the first month or two, Amazon doesn't know how your product performs. So if you get 50 reviews or something like that, if you push the little ratio a little bit, then they don't have data against it. So they're just going to say, wow, this is a really popular product. And, you kind of get away with it a little bit more. So yeah, that's what I was saying before. So for example, you get 10 reviews every week, and all of a sudden you get 40. That's a very big red flag. As opposed to a newer product, they'll just think it's popular. Like, this guy's doing good. AMZ landing page. So whenever I was saying about the landing page before about the reviews, this is what it is. So what it is that you create a landing page for them to, you put an insert card and whatnot. And what the insert card essentially is, it's not leave us a review, do this, do that. It says want a free product or a next product. And that's a lot of people are doing that. And then you put a QR code or something in, and you get them to this landing page, which is the key. So you give them a free gift no matter what. Not leave us a positive review, negative review, and whatnot. You give them a free product. And then, so what this landing page does, it's a little bit of explanation, but once you think of it, you'll see like how smart it is. So the landing page gives them options and asks them like, hey, give us your feedback. So they put from 1 to 10 on how satisfied they are, and they get to write something up a little bit and whatnot. So if they pick anywhere from 1 through 10, right? So let's say keep it simple, 1 through 5, right? If they rate 1, 2, 3, I'll lead them to different pages. They thank you so much for your feedback, and they felt like they vented already, and they won't leave you a negative review most of the time, and they get a free product. So it's a win-win. You save yourself from negative, you give away a free product. But if they do a 4 or 5 star, it leads them to the next page where it says, thank you so much for your feedback. Do you mind, putting it on Amazon? And you just click one button, it goes straight to Amazon, copies and pastes the review, and they literally don't have to do anything. It just goes right away. and then they get the free product as well. So you so many benefits here of, first of all, filtering out the negatives and getting positives. Second of all, you build your own database because it asks for their name, their information, their address, email, and whatnot. So you're building your database, for future launches and just have your own brand. So like I was saying, it redirects you if you do less than 5 stars, if you do 4 or 5 star. The cool part is, so this software, this landing page integrates with MWS. So when someone's going and saying, hey, here's my order number, it can verify it live. It's not like you have to go and then your VA is going to have to verify it and then get back to them in a day or two. It does it within 30 seconds. And it connects to ShipStation. So as soon as everything is verified, right away, label, and you just send out the free product. And that's called AMZ landing page. That's the person who offers this specific landing page. I visited it. I don't know if they're still taking applications. They have somewhere you can sign up, and then once they launch to the public or whatnot, they will let you know. Emails, this is in case you forgot. So we're talking about how you can get reviews on your product. So emails. So I actually found the software where it scrapes emails that are very, very similar to your product. So for example, we had someone who was selling like those water filter replacements. So his target audience, his client, his demographics, people who own a water filter. So what we did was we scraped emails of people we know for sure purchased that water filter. And he did email marketing campaigns, Facebook ads, retargeting campaigns, lookalike audiences for these specific emails. And his conversion was awesome because it's not like you're like, okay, this is someone who likes home products, but it's someone who you know for sure purchased that water filter, the pitch, whatever, the water, and they need it. And especially that it's a replenishable item. So you know they need it. You offer them a 50% discount once, they're going to come back to you every month. So these emails are really, really powerful. And so we did that for him. And we got a couple different products, and we did it for we find people who already purchased the product, for sure purchased the product. It's not a guess. All right, so ASIN refresh. Okay, so a lot of people say I have a dead product and whatnot. How can I get more life, which is the honeymoon period? For some people who don't know, honeymoon period is within the first 60 to 90 days. Everyone has different opinions on that. Usually within the first 60 to 90 days. Some people say 180 days. Whatever, the newer the product, the easier it is to rank, the easier it is to do different stuff, and Amazon helps you with that. So a lot of old products, like 3 years old, they don't move as well as your new product. So here's a couple of ways on how to give that life again. So what is ASIN refresh? So it gives you the 60 to 90 day honeymoon period, keeps the current reviews, so you're not wiping all your reviews. Your BSR goes back to 0, so you can start new, you can start fresh. It's much easier to rank, much easier to get reviews. Amazon gives you more relevancy. And okay, so I don't know if I'm sure people remember like a year or two ago where Amazon was like blocking products from leaving reviews, and it was really annoying. So what this does is that you get to refresh your thing, your ASIN, and then it takes that block away essentially. ASIN restart. So this is for products where it just didn't perform well, where products have tons of negative reviews or something just went off with your product, or especially now. Right now, a lot of people have been asking me about the service is because they have so much stock in FBA right now, and their listing is just going horrible. I'll show you how to do ASIN refresh in a second. So their listing is just going horrible. They're getting tons of negative reviews and whatever it is. Or even violations, if you want just a fresh start. So they use ASIN restart, which moves your inventory from wherever it is in FBA to a new ASIN in FBA without any removal order or relabeling. So the same process as the ASIN refresh for products that didn't perform well. So for example, you have a lot of negative reviews, you have complaints, you just want to start new. So you make a new ASIN and transfer over inventory to that new ASIN. So no need for removal order, no need for relabeling. So it's like a brand new listing. And that's ASIN Doctor. That's what they do. So they have the two options, one's to keep your reviews and one's not to keep your reviews. There's benefits to both. So again, just to recap, the refresh is to give you a new life. To the ASIN and keep your reviews, or restart it just to start it all from new. Actually, I've seen, so a lot of people say like, oh, I have a listing, it's not performing well or whatever it is. and it has delayed ship times. So right now, that's what's going on with the whole coronavirus and whatnot. So people use async restart, and then the ship times got faster. So that's just another cool trick. Hijackers. So a lot of people ask about hijackers and how to get rid of them. And someone's coming to my listing, they're either making it really expensive or really cheap, trying to affect me. And a lot of competitors do it to you and whatnot. So how you can get rid of them. So I discovered this company called 𝗱𝗀𝘀𝘀. So it's hijacker and 𝗱𝗀𝘀𝘀. So it's 𝗱𝗀𝘀𝘀, which they get rid of all those hijackers for you. So to share that. The best ways to rank, which every day, every month, every week, it's always something different on how to rank a product. So the best is to run outside traffic with a specific search term to interact with your page. So for example, driving traffic, but with a certain keyword, you have to target a certain keyword. Obviously, driving traffic is good. Amazon loves when there's outside traffic involved with their website. So just by doing that, you get your relevancy, but the best is to utilize and optimize whichever way. Let's say you're driving the traffic, do it with a keyword, and then you can rank for that keyword much more with that outside traffic. So the blogs, influencers, control traffic. So you drive traffic to the listing over a 7-day period, which essentially ranks the product by driving all that traffic. So if you combine the traffic with the keyword, so basically, by driving traffic to the listing, that's already giving it a big push. And then whenever you do giveaways, it shows that traffic is really converting. Even the traffic will convert, right? But once you combine that with giveaways, it's showing you it's really converting. Amazon gives you a huge push for that. We did tons of different products, different projects where people were either nowhere to be found. Like for example, those resistance bands when they're in the trend. We had a client that purchased tons, and it was so competitive. That he was nowhere to be found. So he called Amazon. He's like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know where I am. He said, you're on like the 400th page. Like there's just so many people doing resistance bands. It was cheap and moved, So I said, I have an idea. Let's try this. So what we did was we did a control traffic to his listing. Within 2 days, we got him to page 4. And then within, I believe, 5 to 7 days, we got him to page 1 for resistance bands, like the main keyword. And he was just selling. He was just selling. So it's very important so what we did is we followed up with the giveaways, and he got the best result there. So, but what people have to understand, there's 2 different things. There's keyword rank and there's BSR. So keyword rank is a specific rank where you are for that keyword and where you're going to show up for that specific keyword in people search. And then there's BSR, which is where you are in that category overall. So by doing the control traffic, it for sure gives you the keyword rank, but not always the BSR. So everyone says, no, you need a better BSR to sell well. No. If you ever see those people who are on page 1 for a certain keyword where the BSR is like 400,000, so that's what they do. They're driving a lot of traffic to their listing. So by doing the keyword rank, your BSR stays the same. I mean, it changes, but not crazy. But when you do the giveaways, that changes your BSR and gives you the best effect. So let's say you're already on page 1, but you just want an extra boost. You'll do exactly what we just said, is to do the outside traffic and giveaways at the same time. So it'll move you up and require less giveaways, and I'll explain because, for example, so I'll tell you right now, let's say you want to do a launch, right? And the launch will require you to do for a certain keyword 250 giveaways. And then once you get to page 1 of those 250 giveaways, you need to maintain yourself. So another 250 giveaways. There's 500 giveaways just to get to page 1. So by doing this traffic, you don't need to do any giveaways to get to page 1. So you get to page 1 without any giveaways, a flat amount of driving traffic to the listing. Once you're ranked there, then you can maintain yourself with giveaways, and it'll be much less. So let's say you're on page 1, so you'll do both at the same time. So we built a system that works 99% of the time. We rank tons of products to page 1 just by doing these techniques that I told you, driving traffic, and also with giveaways and whatnot. So the benefits of using this method. So for example, investing money in driving traffic. Your listing saves money on products, inventory. There's so many people where they order the inventory, gets there. After the launch, half the inventory is gone. And then they start selling and picking up, and then they go out of stock, and then the rank goes right back to 0. So like I was saying, so imagine you have to do 250 giveaways just to get page 1, another 250 giveaways. So a little breakdown here. The average cost of goods is $7. Giveaway price is around $4 on average. The Amazon fee is $4, around $15 for each product. So 15 times 250 is $3,750 just to get to page 1. And then after that, you have to do another $3,750 to maintain yourself on page 1. And there's high risk of doing, imagine you launch a product and then you do 250, and then you're not selling after you get to page 1 250 pieces a day, not always. So imagine you get 250, you're on page 1, and then your giveaway campaign stops, and you go back to like 20 purchases a day. It's a huge red flag. So after you get to page 1, you do you drive traffic, and you do giveaways, show Amazon you're selling, but not coupon giveaways. It's giveaways with full price where they search for that keyword and which you're already ranked for that keyword. So again, it shows relevancy and you're, for that keyword it's converting. So you lower your price to get some organic sales as well. And don't just jack up the price. Do it by 50 cents or $1, slowly, especially now with this whole price gouging thing, but I'm saying in general, do it slowly, get your price back to 1. So for example, the regular add to carts and whatever people do, that's you can't point to my thing, but the screen, but you can see, and then when we did a keyword focused traffic, you can see how much more of a result we got over there. So for example, this was a test product. I mean, he had 3.5 stars. I wouldn't invest in a product like that, but we started off by 50,000 electronics and whatnot. And then after doing so, you can see on the other side, we got him to 5,000 electronics and 100 subcategory. And yeah, so that's my contact information where you can just scan a QR code. I mean, if anyone has any questions, feel free to type and we'll answer them now. And yes, and also, so should we answer questions? Or?
Okay, so a couple of questions here. First one's from Sulkan. After the honeymoon period on Amazon, what tips and tricks can I use to keep the ranking up and compete?
So like we mentioned before, it's doing the driving traffic to listing and full price giveaways. That's very important to kind of get a mix of those two. But mainly whenever you have a honeymoon period, it's super easy to rank. So let's say Helium 10 or whatever, any tool tells you 250 giveaways, you'll probably have to do maybe half of that. And it's all about consistency, really. A lot of people just do tons of giveaways and just expect the best. No, it's really consistency. As long as you're consistent, you could also get an Amazon choice badge like that as well. Amazon sees you're consistent on a certain keyword, getting sales and whatnot. It's not always about the quantity.
Related question from Milan. When does the honeymoon period start? Is it when you create the ASIN or when you add stock?
It's right when it hits
stock
FBA inventory. Everyone asks. It's such a famous question.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another question from the same guy, Milan. How many times did you repeat your core keyword in the Q&As? So when you're using questions.
3 or 4. Just add a couple. The more, the better. But usually after 2 to 3, maybe 3 or 4.
And you see a result by having
it's easy to.
What are you doing there? Are you trying to rank for the keyword at all, or are you trying to improve your rank for a keyword?
No, you're just trying to index. Let's say for keywords you want to index before even PPC campaigns and whatnot. You just want to be found. Or let's say you're doing a launch and you just want to be found somewhere. You have to be indexed for a keyword. Quick way to do that is just get someone to ask.
So yeah, so it's enabled to be indexed for a keyword at all. Okay. For outside traffic to a listing, what URL do you use to target specific keywords? I think I know the answer.
Exactly. Okay, so there's so many URLs that one day works, one day doesn't work. So first off is where to get the traffic from. I want to ask something recently where I saw where a lot of the traffic converts and actually it's good traffic is Pinterest. It's a little random, but it actually has very good conversions. It's just a tip. But which URLs work? So there's so many that work. So the old URLs where you just plug in the ASIN, the keyword. I haven't seen such results. I personally use I think it's called 𝗱ixify, which have great results there. Nothing compares to search, find, buy. I'm going to put that out there, very straightforward. But not everyone always has those patience of doing the search, find, buy, and whatnot. So you can do 𝗱ixify. Yeah, exactly.
This is from Navin. Which types of outside traffic have helped you the most? You just mentioned Pinterest, but he's also suggested Google ads, Facebook ads, influencers, affiliates.
Not Facebook ads. No, the little Facebook ads. No, Amazon views it as such cheap traffic because everyone's doing it so easy to do. They love outside traffic, but if you had to rank them, Facebook would definitely be on the bottom.
And does using an Amazon affiliate link change the effectiveness of the traffic you're sending?
Not really. And the pixelify, you could insert your Amazon.
Okay. And you don't think that
kind of gives you both.
reduces the effectiveness of the traffic or makes it look less normal to Amazon?
I mean, again, because it's a little bit biased now because you're connecting it to an affiliate. But I mean, that goes back to influencers. So I think it should.
Yeah, I mean, I personally have seen it works fine with affiliate links.
Let me just weigh in here. What about attribution? So some of us who are brand registered have Amazon attribution, and we can link that to our Google ads. I think that might be in the question actually as well. So what's your experience or view on that?
So not many people have done it. Not many people do Google ads. Always something I was actually curious about. If people do Google ads and for converts well and whatnot. I mean, anything that's outside traffic, Amazon loves. But I actually haven't seen someone to do Google ads and convert it to Amazon. But also, how do you know if the sale converts? Not everyone could do that because you get them to Amazon. So now I remember the reason why I actually didn't like it when someone mentioned it was because, okay, you're paying for all these ads, you're getting them. Okay, you convince them to buy something now. But once they go there, Amazon has tons of their own ads or lower price here, Amazon's choice here. You paid for them to go onto Amazon. So it's essentially burning money because it's not for sure that they're going to buy your product. It's supposed to a Facebook ad or a different kind of ad where you're targeting your product itself. You know they're going to buy your product itself.
Have you done any experiments with Amazon attribution where you put the extra tags on the links so then you get sales data? Okay.
No, not yet. No.
Okay, question from Manin. Sorry, I haven't read this one yet. So the question was about how do you know when Amazon bans people for selling too fast? Just quickly, Manin, I don't think it was about selling too fast. What Mark was saying was about getting too many reviews. Oh, sorry, you talked at the very beginning about selling, didn't you?
There's So you're getting too many reviews blocks of this thing, but how do you know? Whenever you get a spike in orders and it doesn't look organic, and what I was saying is about when people were using specific links, and everyone just using if a search find buy, there's no problem with that. But when people are just doing giveaways, especially with copy and pasting links and using coupon codes and stuff like that, it raises a red flag. It was around like 6 months ago or so, maybe a little bit more, where tons of people were getting suspended for doing coupon giveaways and whatnot. So that's where they got it from, where they found the formula of like where you should keep to, not to have a problem.
And this question was kind of, is it somewhere particularly you came up with this formula for the number, or is it just something you've come across in your?
No, it's from Amazon.
Yeah, I've seen that same thing as well. Okay, I can't remember exactly where. It's in one of the presentations I saw somewhere. Can you elaborate a bit more on how to do giveaways on a listing? Something a bit more, I think Tony's looking for something a bit more step-by-step, kind of the process you follow.
No, okay, so what I was saying is search, find, buy. So what you want to do is, let's say you have a network. So for example, the way my network works is that we give them a picture of the product. So let's say we're targeting 10 giveaways a day for 5 days. So what we'll do is we'll set up and collect interest on the product. So we'll have 50 people say, I'm interested in this product, and show them a picture and whatnot so they know. So then afterwards, we create a private group or whatever it is, and have these people search on Amazon the keyword and look for the product itself. And then we'll come back to us and confirm, is this right, whatever it is, and then add it to the cart, and we'll come back either later or whatever it is by random and purchase the product, give us the order number. So as long as you're spreading it out, you're doing search and buy, and making it look as organic as possible.
Do you have any recommendation for him about how to find the people to put into that process?
So I built my own giveaway network of 20,000 plus people, and it's not coupon giveaways. You only do full price giveaways because that's what works. But I'm sure there's other services as well.
Okay.
Actually, let me just jump in here because there's a natural next question, which is if people want to access that network, how does it work with you, Mark?
Sure. So, I mean, right now my website's being a little bit under construction, but the coronavirus gave us a really big helping hand in delaying us. But I mean, you could contact me and someone from my team reach out, and you could quickly access that network.
Okay. And how much do you tend to charge? Can you give people an idea?
Depends on the product and whatnot, but we could set up different packages and plans. And I should mention that anyone who's part of the webinar and whatnot, gets a 20%, you know, for the first clientele. And even if you guys are all my clients already, I love you dearly. You also get a great deal. But yeah, we'll take care of you. We'll come to plan. And we have tons of other services.
And so when you say it depends, are you distinguishing, I guess, between products that have a high level of desirability with your audience as opposed to, you know, those supplement sellers, God forbid? I'm joking.
It's more like let's say supplements. I'm sure everyone knows the hardest thing to move and whatnot. So it depends on the product, it depends on the quantity, it depends on, you know, many different factors, but it ranges anywhere from $3 to $5.
And so when you say quantity, are you referring to like helium-10, or are you saying
no, quantity of how many giveaways they're doing?
Right.
You're asking about giveaways, correct?
And is there anything else we can do with your audience? Like, there any other? Can we do questions, stuff like that?
Yeah, question answers.
Okay.
We can help with reviews as well. Another thing that we don't really often think of is, let's say they want to gain interest in a product to see if it moves well or not. So you order 50 or whatever from China, from your manufacturer, whatnot. And then what we do is we ship it to different testers. And what they'll do is they'll give you feedback on the product. And before you order thousands or even hundreds, whatever it is, you can take that feedback, go back to your manufacturer, you know, and this is like real customers, real shoppers and whatnot. They'll give you genuine feedback on how you could change your product and improve it.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay, question from Milan again. His products cost between £200 to £600, so $300 to $800. So it's very expensive to do giveaways. Do you have a recommended alternative method for him?
So yeah, that's what the outside traffic that I was speaking about, the ranking. That's what often people use. There are people who have drones for $3,000 and whatnot, and are giving away that so easily. So what we do is do the outside traffic and whatnot, and also PPC, like ads and whatnot, to push that through.
So with a product that is that expensive, would your audience, I mean, are they all, don't take this the wrong way, couponers and bargain hunters who have no money, or would they pay, let's say, 50% for a product of that level of quality? And
not really, just to maintain the flow of the group, and you know, just to maintain everything nicely and smoothly. Everything's strictly full price.
Got it. Understood. It looks like we've lost Christian. That does happen. So the next question here is, where is your network? Is it just for America, or do you cover Europe?
No, so we have America and UK, and then actually recently we just expanded to Germany, France.
So how big is it in those other European countries? Is it as big as America, or?
Yeah, so now that we just require different networks in UK and whatnot, it's actually very, very large. And UK is actually almost larger than the US network. Yeah.
And how do you acquire your network? I mean, are you at
through different referrals? Yeah, so we could refer each other, but not everyone could just join in. We have different people who are vetting them and checking their profile and whatnot, and only let people with a referral.
And are they sellers? Could they be sellers?
No, absolutely not. No. Famous. That's the most often. Oh, can I join as a seller? And I said, no, I'm sorry. I said, just like you as a seller, you don't want your competitors seeing your product and whatnot. We wouldn't want that.
All right.
As well.
And when it comes to reviews, I mean, I hesitate to say this on broadcast here, but how do you know that your reviews won't get removed, or the ones that we might work with you on?
So, no, we're very straightforward. I mean, what you're paying for is a product feedback. Like, we're giving you feedback on your product and whatnot. We're not guaranteeing any reviews. I mean, they will post a review on Amazon, but we say very straightforward. Amazon has every right to remove any reviews or reject any reviews, especially when they're whitening and going crazy.
All right, cool. Good. Christian, do you want to jump back in there?
Yes.
Tony 3 minutes ago.
Where the network is based?
No, we've just done that.
Okay. Okay, so next one, there was any more suggestions of where to get traffic? So Facebook ads are one place, Instagram and Pinterest, but then anywhere else that you suggest people?
Blogs, influencers are very important.
Okay, Naveen.
Sorry, a related question then. So do you have access to influencers as well, or what sites would you recommend for that? Particularly micro influencers, I think.
So we have yeah. So people often ask, should I get one big influencer or a lot of small influencers to promote my product? And there's pros and cons to both. There are some influencers charge thousands and thousands of dollars to get your product out there. So I would say first it depends on your budget and if you're ready for it. But I think a lot of small influencers would do a really good job because first of all, their audiences could share with their audiences more broad, more demographics, and you get to play around a little bit. You know, everyone always spreads.
Okay. I think we unfortunately lost Mark. Is that right?
It looks that way, but my screen's also frozen, so you may be able to hear me, but I can't see the screen.
So can you guys just go in chat and tell us if you can still hear us, even though the screens are frozen?
I'm going to restart my screen, so I'm going to drop out for a second and just restart.
Okay. I have a frozen screen too, so it would be good to see what everybody else is saying. But I cannot. Can you put it in? I can't see anything. Let me try. Hi.
Looks like someone took us away.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's my screen is frozen actually, so I can't see you or any.
Okay, Shelley,
questions.
Okay, closing and coming back worked for me. Mark is back as well, so we'll keep going. You could probably close yours and restart if you need to.
Okay, I'm just worried since I own the thing.
No, I think it still works if you drop. It will finish the webinar when you say stop webinar.
Okay.
I hope. Okay, where are we? Okay, so the question from Naveen about giveaways. You were talking before about sending outside traffic to your listing to help boost the ranking without doing the sales themselves, just sending the traffic there with keywords helps boost it. But his concern was that that may give you a low conversion rate, which will then negatively affect your ranking.
No, so it wouldn't. So Amazon looks at that as an estimated purchase. It's like something that it might happen. Why? Because Amazon, once you go on a product, they target you through so many different ads. So they look at it as if it's going to be a purchase, and they look at it as it's a semi-conversion. So it wouldn't work. It wouldn't hurt your listing.
Okay, great.
That's it.
Okay, let me read this one. So of the search find by customers on your network, how many of them would you suggest leave a review? For example, 1 in 10 or 2 in 10? Or would you suggest it's based on your combined sales, including organic, to be able to work out how many actually leave a review?
So we can work out, and we could assign people to leave a review from before. And the other question was what the ratio should be using overall or just from the giveaways? That was your question?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing from what Tony's saying. I think personally, it's the total, right? It's your total sales.
I think
and the reviews are 1 in 10. Or
everyone. That's why the magic template's good and important as well, or whatever it is. So you can follow people who bought your product organically or whatever, or you purchased your product.
Earlier in your presentation, you talked about coupons more than 49% are seen as heavily discounted and biased. Does that mean that if you're doing a 40% coupon, then that's still considered to be a reasonable purchase?
There's two types of coupons. One coupon is on your page where people could just clip a coupon, and then there's a coupon where you give out a code. So the code coupons are the problem.
Okay. So, but with code coupons, if you're giving a 20, 30, 40% discount, do they still cause those purchases to be considered biased, or is it?
I mean, I know for sure 49%, but just keep as far back as you could.
Okay, that makes sense. Welcome back.
Am I back? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. There's a question here in the chat, so you guys might not have seen it. From Holly about if you're launching with FBM, will you have a honeymoon period or not?
I think you might have some kind of honeymoon period, but the real honeymoon period, it comes from FBA once it hits FBA.
Holly, my personal understanding of that is that your honeymoon period starts when you first have stock on sale, and that's either by saying you have one available in FBM, and then the moment customers can first buy it, it then starts the honeymoon period, or it's when your stock is first hit FBA, because in the same way, as soon as it's FBA, it's then available for people to purchase. So it's the key thing is it's not when you first create the listing. So you may create the listing months before stock is made in China and shipped from China and goes on sale. But the honeymoon period normally starts when your first unit can be purchased by a customer through FBM or FBA.
Actually, I have a different question, which is related to ASIN Doctor. Can I just jump in here with mine?
Go for
it. So what would you do in a situation where you have an okay listing? It's not terrible. It's not perfect. It's not a 5-star. 3. And it's ranking extremely well, obviously. It's probably number 3 or 4 on page 1. But you're doing a new version of a product, and it's an upgrade from the product that you have been selling up until now. Would you do an ASIN refresh? Would you do an ASIN, what did you call it?
Restart.
Restart. No. Would you do a variation and then kill off the other one? What would you do?
I wouldn't do any. There's something called newer model available, where you can get the newer model of the product and the old one. So let's say the old one's converting, you're getting all that traffic and whatnot. So I'm sure you've seen it like on Bluetooth speakers and something like that. On the bottom it says a newer model available, and you're already getting that conversion and all that traffic. So some people just underestimate, like, whatever. The results I've seen are insane. Because you're getting so much traffic. You already know people are looking for your product. So whenever there's a newer version available, like imagine if I offered you this and I tell you, oh, there's a newer version available, you want to go towards that. So you rank for tons of different keywords because they're getting searched by different keywords. Like right now, a product that's performing so well, right? You don't know what keywords they're coming from. I mean, you could know, but not everyone knows what keywords they're coming from, right? So whenever you're getting all these different keywords and it's converting through this newer model available portal, you get tons of ranking juice and purchases. And we did it for a couple of people whenever because it's not like a thing that everyone talks about or does every day. And we tried it out and we got awesome results. Awesome results.
So how do I access that?
So I have either Amazon could do it for you, or we could help assist you with that.
Okay. And would that work in a category that's not electronics?
Yeah, we did it for food. We did it for a couple of different products.
I see it. I've not set one up for my own products, but I see it in toys and games quite a lot as well. When a newer version of products.
It does awesome. It does awesome.
Cool. All right. Yeah. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Question from Ginny. You mentioned that you can build reviews prior to launch using FBM. How would that work?
So same thing, meaning through, let's say, our network or whatnot, we'll have people purchase the product and you ship it to them FBM, and then they'll leave a review.
Nice and simple.
And then there's a question here about what incentive does your group have to buy it at full price? And the answer, Yuri, I think, is that they get reimbursed, right?
Yeah. We reimburse them. So essentially what it'll be like, we'll charge you for whatever it is, the product cost and the fee, the service fee, and then we'll refund everyone for you. We'll collect all the order numbers, make sure they order on time and the dates, and then we'll give you a report of all the order numbers and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, cool.
I had a question as well. Where we put it. You mentioned earlier about getting email addresses of people that purchased a water filter, a water jug, so you could market filters to them. How do you find those people?
So I discovered this really, really cool software or whatever, something to scrape those emails. If you need help with that, I'll be more than happy to help with it. It's not something I give out. But wow, those emails really convert because of your exact demographic, exact target. You don't have to spend money guessing,
Okay. That's interesting to know. I think that's all the questions we have live.
Oh, I do have one more actually that came up for me. I hope it's okay if I ask it. So you talked about AMZ landing page, which by the way, I tried to get on and it's shut. So are you connected to those guys?
What do you mean? What's shut? Like the actual website or the
sign up?
Well, the website just says enter your email. We'll tell you when.
Yeah, so I know the people who designed the whole thing.
Okay.
So cool. If people want, you could email me or whatnot. I could try to get you in. But I know for the public, they're not accepting. People for the public. That's I think you could just put your email on the website and whatnot.
Okay. All right. So you could get us in. And then my next question was going to be: so you talked about giving a free giveaway product or some sort of freebie in order to get them to go to the landing page. If the average value of your product is say $25, what kind of freebie would you recommend?
An accessory. It doesn't have to be the product. For example, some of the teeth whitening kits, right? So what did they do? They offered a free gel pen. They offered to you just something free as an incentive that they should visit the website. They'll do it. I mean, why not? Get a free gel pen, and especially something that's replenishable. Stuff like supplements, you save whatever % off your next, or get your next refill on us, and that's great. Great results.
Okay. All right. Cool. I think that was it from.
There's one new one from Sulkan. If you get reviews pre-launch, will this reduce your honeymoon period?
No, because it only once it hits FBA, that's when like the real honeymoon period starts.
So you're effectively giving it a pre-FBA boost, a pre-honeymoon.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're getting, exactly. You're getting a couple of reviews. You can start off a nice launch, 5 to 10 reviews.
Although I would say, would and I'm sure you'd agree that because Vine is now available for free for your first 30 reviews, so it would be a really good idea for everyone. If you find it in your panel to use Vine reviews, wouldn't you say?
I would slightly disagree with you.
Okay.
Nothing personal, but I'm sure you could. A lot of people use Vine reviews. Sometimes they'll do a little too honest, and I've seen people that their products got straight to waste because it's your first product. Whenever you're giving a product in hand, not everyone's always so optimistic about it. They're going to look for the negative features, and that's what they're going to leave. And then having 10 people do that and launching a product with Vine reviews, and then you're going to start with a 3-star, ruins your product. So maybe once you're established and whatnot, once you have good reviews, you can add the concept of Vine reviews are great because the weight of the reviewers and whatnot are good. But to launch a product, I wouldn't suggest it. So many people got backfired. I mean, look, if your product is genuinely good quality and whatnot, you shouldn't have an issue. But keep in mind, not everyone's so optimistic when they get a product. Everyone looks at the negative points, and that's what they post. And it could, essentially just ruin a listing like that.
I did it for an improved version, and actually it was already a fairly well established good.
Okay, so that's what I was saying.
Yeah, and it really was great for the new version. Actually,
we talked about this in one of the mastermind groups I did, and one of the things came out that was do not use Vine in Germany unless you want to get a 2-star product, because German reviewers just love doing negative details. So you'll get not only a 2-star review or 1-star review, but it'll be all the reasons why it's a 1-star review and all the things.
Exactly, they write like a whole paragraph.
Yeah. No, I get
technical
it.
diagrams and everything.
Yes. Okay. I understand. If you're unsure about your product, of course, then it's
exactly. Especially since they have more weight. So if you leave a negative review, you can't just upvote it and downvote it. It's going to take a lot of votes to push it down there.
Yeah.
We actually have someone in our group who is there's like a ranking, like reviewer rankings of like 1,000 or 100,000, the top 500 reviewer. We have the #1 reviewer on our group. So she has like all these different badges of like Hall of Fame, top this, top that. She's like, her reviewer thing is 1. So she never has any problems with her reviews being removed, and it's always on top, and she likes to help out and putting nice pictures and stuff like that. It shows up, and it has really good review rating.
Yeah.
In
a really competitive category, as one of the other competitors has obviously been through your group or something, and they have upvoted this Hall of Fame reviewer. They've done 600 upvotes.
Wow. Actually, rather, upvotes are so underrated, I would say. There are a lot of times where probably you'd have like a 3-star on, they just leave it there. It was like a week ago. I posted it on my status, and when people saw it, like, he didn't even like get the concept of votes. So I explained it to him. He's like, let's try. We voted him. He said within the hour or two, he got tons of orders, because you have to realize when someone's scrolling your listing, they see a 3-star. Even though the 3-star is essentially there, or the 1-star is essentially there, it's in their face. So that's the first thing they get about your product. The first impression is negative.
Yeah.
Unless it's all 5 stars, and then they see all 5 stars first, and they think positively, but your 1-stars are still there. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
We've got one last question for you for the end. What would you say the main advantage to using 𝐻𝐸 landing pages as opposed to your own ManyChat flow or your own system?
Because it's a little bit different. I mean, ManyChat, you have to set it up and whatnot. Through 𝐻𝐸 landing page, you put a QR code. It's just simple, much more simple. Getting to the point of the scanning QR code 1 through 5, and then if they're satisfied, they get it. If not, and then they verify through it. It has good features. It's simple to use, but ManyChat does great work as well.
So it's more off the peg, isn't it? You can just take one.
Yeah, and then also you can just download a list of all your people and whatnot.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Thank
so
you very
let's
much,
get
Mark.
some reactions to this. How does everybody feel having attended this today? Useful? Not useful? Any feedback at all? I mean, obviously good would be a great place to start. But
yes, apologies again for the delay.
No pressure.
Okay, what are we getting? Oh, it's been great. Very lovely. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Hey, look at that. We've got some
keep doing them.
nice, yeah.
So all those people who left a positive review, I'll give you an extra 50%.
Cool, good. Yeah, well, we captured that. Excellent. Okay, well, thank you very, very much, Mark. It's been really interesting listening to you and hearing from you and what it is that you do. And I guess what you're doing is dealing with lots of different Amazon sellers, right? So you get a very broad range of perspective on what's happening with Amazon, right?
Exactly. You get people who are just starting out and whatnot, who have their product established, and I work with people who do 9 figures, so very large range over there, but yeah. Right.
Cool. Good. So for all of you who are still here and giving us some nice feedback, thank you very much. I'll just talk about next week. So next week we have Seth Stevens and Sean Hart who are joining us. And one of the things that I love about what they're going to be talking about, so they're going to be covering product launches and how to find those products that are not completely saturated. So moving your business on to those areas which are a little bit easier to launch in. But they're also going to be talking about launches and their perspective. I don't think there's one answer on how to do this. Everybody has a slightly different take, and it's very interesting, I think, bringing people from lots of different perspectives to talk about that. One of the other things I love about them, which is a little bit different, is that they have a whole system that they have put together that you can become part of as well. So they don't just talk about how you find better products or how you source them. They also have a system where, obviously that's not going to be free as part of the webinar, but they have a system where you can use the resources that actually help you get there. And so that's going to be a really interesting session, I believe. Again, they're going to peel back the onion and show us some things that perhaps aren't discussed quite so openly. So I'm looking forward to it. And in the meanwhile, thank you very, very much to everyone. We're really sorry about the tech problems. They obviously threw us as well as you, and it meant that we almost had to reorganize for next week or for another day. But luckily we've made it, and it's been a great webinar. So thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
My pleasure. Looking
Thank you
forward.
for
Thanks
coming.
again.
You will get the replay link
Yeah.
soon, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. Take care, everyone.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye.